Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome, 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 welcome in the building. So, and I'm going to start, we're going to learn something today. All right, so I'm just going to set everything right. So, when you come in, you're going to actually understand on how to go ahead and do so. So, I'm also trying to record a video so I'll be able to post later on. I've actually gotten myself a phone at least. So welcome everybody. I want to be able to go live both YouTube and Facebook and also record it. So today I'm going to show you on how you can go ahead and do your shoulder dart and the side dart, and as well know how to go ahead and do your dark intake. All right, so those are the things we're going to be learning today. So first of all, what I'm going to start with, you guys already know, everyone already know, I will always start with my basic pattern. All right, so I'm just going to draw a straight line because I realize that this paper is not straight. So I'm going to go ahead and rule a straight line, which is going to be the guide. I'll just rule a straight line like that, all the way straight downward. Right, so I'm gonna just rule this line up. Okay, after which I'm done with, so the next thing I'm gonna do is to go ahead. I will use my shoulder, take the shoulder measurement divided by 2. All right, because we are starting on the basic pattern first. All right, we are going to do the basic pattern. After that, we are going to do our shoulder dart. So you should be able to know how to draft your basic pattern, and before you can go ahead and manipulate it the way you want. So I'm using my new measuring tape. This measuring tape comes in with cm and inch at the same side. I got it on Timo. So I'm going to take my shoulder measurement divided by 2 and mark that up, which is 14 divided by 2 is going to give me 7. I will slant it down by 1 inch for the shoulder slope because our shoulder is not straight. I'm going to move now to the armhole depth. If you don't know how to get your armhole depth, all right, there are actually 2 ways you can go ahead to do so. Is you either take your shoulder measurement divided by 2, or you take your round bust divided by 6, then you add 1.5 inch to it. That is how you're going to get your armhole depth line. I hope that part is clear. Remember, I said I'm going to go ahead and do it as easier as it is. So I'm just going to be marking the 7 inch. No, let me just do 7.5 inch, which is right there. Now, after doing so, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark my neck depth. The basic neck depth we always work with is 3 inch. The basic neck width we always do is 3 inch. Remember, this can always change depending on your project you are working on. If you don't know how to get the neck depth and the neck width, blah blah blah, go ahead and divide your round neck by 6, whatever you have. I hope this part is going to be whatever you have. You go ahead now and just share. So I'm going to have to pull this down because of my sewing machine. So I've just pulled it down. I'm going to connect these points up like that. I've had this ever since, but I don't like using it because sometimes it's always very difficult to pick it from the pattern. But it's very, very good and professional. So I'm just going to go ahead and connect these points up like that. All right, and also do here like this. Connect it up like so. Okay, now that I am done doing so, I am going to quickly check if everything is good to go, because I'm also recording it, so I'll be able to post it later. All right, everything is good to go because I shifted the pattern down, so I needed to check everything if it is good. So now what I'm going to do is to mark the center of this line. The center of that line, which is 7.5 divided by 2, is going to give me 3.075. So this is half, and here is this one, 3.075, which is right there. I'm going to go in here by half an inch. You can do half inch, you can do 1 inch, okay? Yeah. Now I'm going to come here on the chest line. I'll put 1/4 of my round bust measurement. That's, take the round bust and divide it by 4. All right, your round bust, so mine is 34 divided by 4 is going to give me 8.5. So I'm just going to go ahead and place this up and connect it up just the way you can see me doing right there. When I started this thing, I didn't even know if I added the volume or not. Can you people hear me? Ha! My village people. I just like, let me check if there's volume. There was no volume. How can I be doing something? You people will not be telling me that you people cannot say that there's no volume. So sorry about that, my friends. Okay, so I've just connected that point up. The next thing I'm going to do is now we're going to mark from the shoulder to the bust point. My shoulder to the bust point is 10 inch. I'm going to go ahead and mark that point up. Shoulder to the under bust is 13.5 inch. Shoulder to the waist, but I'll be ending on the length of the top that I'll be making. Let me just go ahead and do 17.5 inch. Connect it up with straight line, just like you can see me doing right here, and do the same thing here on the under bust, and the same thing on the bust point line. Now we are almost done. I'm going to come now and do put 1/4 of each my measurement, okay? But before we go ahead and do so, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark let me do it very simple. This is a basic one. All right, so I'm going to just put come on the waist. I'll put 1/4 of the waist measurement. I will mark mine is 7 inch. I'm just going to mark, but I'll add 1 inch for my data. I'm going to be using it later, or better still, even 1.5 inch. I'll add my 1 inch. I'm also going to do the same thing here, marking my 8 inch here. This is a basic pattern. You call it, this is a basic pattern, no stress. So if you realize, I always connect it up like that because the front is kind of curvy. It's not really straight. All right, the front is not really straight, the front side, okay? So I have something like this. This is just a normal basic pattern. Now let's go ahead now to mark our nipple to nipple. I'm going to come here. My nipple to nipple is 7.5. 7.5 divided by 2 is going to give me 3.075, which is 3.075 is here. I'm going to mark that point up. I'm also going to come here and do the same thing here. Mark it up. And here, I'm going to mark it up, which is there. Mark it up. Now, I will connect that part up with a straight line all the way to my bust point. All right, so we are going to end now for the bust point. Now, we are going to go ahead now to mark up the dots. I did not explain how I managed to get my 1 inch. Remember, I had a 1 inch here. The 1 inch, how do you go ahead to get your dart intake, the exact measurement you're going to be using for your dart intake? So what you're going to do is to take the round bust. So assuming my round bust is 34, right? Then my under bust, this is my bust here. My under bust is 30. So when we take this 34 minus 30, we'll be left with 4 inch. You will take this 4 inch now, divide it into 6. 4 inch divided into 6. Whatever answer you get, that's what you're going to be using for your dart intake. I hope that part is clear. Remember, bust minus under bust. Whatever answer you get, for example, if you take your round bust minus the under bust, if your answer is 6, you divide this 6 into 6, you end up having 1 inch. That 1 inch is what you're going to use for at the center and the side. But what some people always choose to do is they can take that 1 inch. Instead of using 1 inch here, what they will do is to mark ½ inch or a 3/4 inch, then use 1.025 at the side that goes towards the armpit. I hope that part is clear. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my ½ inch, okay? I will do 3/4 inch. I'm going to have to add a ½ inch. Let's say I'll do 3/4 inch both sides. Now I'm going to come on the bust point line. I will go down by 3/4 inch. You can go down up to 1.5 inch depending on how bossy you are. I'm somebody with a smaller size, so I'm going to go down by 3/4 inch. You can go down, if you're smaller size, you can go down by 3/4 inch, 1 inch. But if you're bossy, you go down by 1.5 inch. Why do we have to go down here? That's just to create ease around your bust. I hope that part is clear. So after which I'm done doing so, the next thing I'm going to do is just to go ahead and connect this point up to here, and I'm also going to do the same thing. So let me go ahead and mark that 3/4 inch here, like this, my 3/4 inch here and my 3/4 inch here. All right, or you can just go ahead and connect your straight dart all the way straight down, but I'm going to do it this way. And I'm going to place it up like this, making sure it get a little bit of curve, but not too curvy right there. All right, see what I've just done there? I'm going to bring this other side and make sure that I bring it up to meet that 3/4 inch. I went down. Then I'm going to do this up, bring it up like this, connect it up like so. And also do this up like this. All right, so this is what I have. I have something like this, okay? Now we are going to move now to the shoulder darts. When you want to do something like a bustier or something like a princess dart, that you want that pointy shape to really come out well, okay? What I've noticed so many people always do is they will take whatever measurement they have from this point to this point and divide it into 2. When you connect this into 2, for example, if I connect this into 2, you will notice that the dart does not really come out like curvy as let me see this pencil. For example, this is what I'm talking about. I'll not use a bone marker for now, so I'm going to use this. For example, what most people always do is they measure up whatever from here the distance between here and divide it. Mine is 4, so I'm just going to go ahead and mark where 2 inch is. So if I mark that 2 inch, we are going to go ahead and connect this up like this. Connect this up like this. I'm using a pencil here. This does not mean that it's not going to come out. It's going to come out, but it's not going to give you that nice shape. It's not really going to give you that nice shape. Let me actually indicate what I'm talking about. So assuming that I was going to use my dart of 3/4 inch, I'm just going to mark my 3/4 inch here and also mark another 3/4 inch here. So after marking the 3/4 inch, I'm going to go ahead now and connect this up like this. And connect it up like so. Can you see? All right, we've connected it up like this. We have a curve, but we don't have that nice curve we are looking for. So this way, try this other method I'm going to be showing you today on how to go ahead and do this shoulder dart. So what I'm going to do is, that's why I was using my pencil so I could be able to raise this up. So I'm just going to go ahead and remove this up now. So assuming, okay, you're going to see the two difference of it. So assuming that you wanted to use a dart here of 0.75 both sides, right? So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to come to this end here. Come here, I'm going to mark that 1.5 that I'll be using for my dart. I will mark that up. Then I will have to slant my shoulder by 1 inch, which is right there. My shoulder by 1 inch, which is right here. This is right here. Okay. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to connect it all the way to that point. That 1.5 inch that I mark. That 1.5 inch that I mark. Now, this is what you are going to do. All right, connect these points up like this. I'm just going to bring it up like this to meet up that point. You're going to see how the magic work here. Like this. This is right there. Okay, so I'm just going to bring it up like this. So this is what we have right now. You are going to go ahead and measure up whatever we have from this point to this point. Whatever we have, we're going to go ahead and divide it into 2. So I will measure up whatever I have from here all the way to here, which is almost 6 inch. So I'm just going to place it up like this. It's 5 point like this, and divide that point up into 2. So I'm just going to come here like this and mark here like this. From where I have just marked right now, I'm going to go ahead and bring this up right there like this. Like I said, try this. You're going to see the magic in this. So now I will go ahead now and mark that my 3/4 inch that I'm supposed to mark, and my 3/4 inch here. When you do this, automatically you're going to bring this up together. So I'm just going to go ahead now and bring this point to meet up with that point. I'm going to come here and also bring this to meet up this point. You're going to realize that it's kind of a little bit curvy, but all you just need to do, can you see that? Can you see that curve? All you just need to do right there is just to go ahead and blend this up so that it's going to give you that nice and curved look. Can you see that? Can you see the difference? The other one was more straight. Look at the first line that we drew. Look at this other one. Look at what is actually giving me right there. Now we are done with the shoulder dart, right? Now let's move now to the side dart. All right. So for the side dart, what we always do is the differences between the back and the front. You are going to use for the side dart. The differences, the front is always longer than the back because at the front we have our breast, Why at the back we don't have the breast? So the difference is you're going to use that for your side dart. So let me go ahead and draft up the back pattern. I'm going to be separating this up. Remember, the back pattern is supposed to be shorter than the front. All right, so I'm going to just go ahead. Let me see. I'm trying to let me just do this. Here, I'm going to go ahead now and do this up so you people can really see on how to go about this. So let's just go ahead and draw a straight line right there and also leaving some allowance, okay? Like this. All right, so after which we've just drawn that straight line, the next thing I'm going to do is to go ahead and mark my neck depth, mark my shoulder, which is 7 inch. I will mark my neck width. Actually, my neck width of the back is always 1.5 inch or 1 inch. So I'm going to do 1.5 inch. So I'm going to slant my shoulder measurement by 1 inch like we did for the front. All right. So let me go ahead now. From that 1 inch that we slant, we're going to mark the armhole depth, which is 7.5. Now, what I will do is to go ahead and connect my armhole depth like that. I'm going to go ahead and connect these points up like so. All right, and we move now to the neck width, which is gonna be here, and the neck there. Now connect these points up like this. That's the shoulder slope or the shoulder slant, whatever. All right, so now I'm just going to measure up whatever I have here, which is 7.5 divided by 2 is going to give us 3.075. What I always like to do here is to go in by 0.25. That always helps me a lot, all right? To remove all that sleeve bulge that's always sometimes you sew it and it's looking funny. Then I'm going to put 1/4 of my rhombus measurement. I'm just going to place this on it. If you notice, the curve that I give here is kind of very tiny. All right, so can you see that the curve is very, very tiny? Now, after that, what I'm going to do is just to go ahead and mark the length. Remember, the length of the front was 17.5 inch, making it that the back we're going to mark it as 16.5 inch. Remember, the front is supposed to be longer than your back pattern, the back piece. Why? Because the front has bust, our breast, while the back does not have the breast. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and mark the nipple to nipple, which is what was that? 7.5 divided by 2 is going to give me 3.075. I'm going to come here and mark 3.075. Then connect a straight line from here to here, a straight line up. Now that we are done connecting that straight line, the dart of the back is always different from the one of the front. So I'm just going to do 3/4 inch here, 3/4 inch, and 3/4 inch both sides. Need to connect it all the way to the chest. So I'm just going to do this up, right? And this up. Right now, and I'm going to put 1/4 of the waist measurement. So the round waist I'm working with is 28 plus that 3/4 inch that I took is going to give me 8.5. I'm going to come here. It's almost the same thing with the bust. Yeah. Right. Remember, I've not added any allowance, my sewing allowance. So I'm just going to do, connect it up. That's the back. If you notice, the back is shorter than the front by 1 inch. So we have the back right there. All right. Let's come here to our zipper allowance. All right, zipper allowance. We always get a very funny look at the back, the zipper bush. So to eliminate that, what normally you always do to measure up whatever you have from this point to this point, what we have there is 15 inch. How come it's 15 inch? 17.5. Let's see what I have there. This is not supposed to, yeah, this is 16.5. Okay, because you think that I'll measure from here. Yeah, okay, yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and measure it from here to here. That from here to here. Whatever I have, I'm going to divide it into 2, which is 15 inch divided by 2 is going to give me 7.5. 7.5. I've not added my zipper allowance. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add up my 1/2 inch right there. 1/2 inch. Let me go ahead and do it the normal way. So first of all, you want to add your zipper allowance with 1 inch and 1 inch. Draw that line. I don't want to confuse you people. So draw that line up like that. And we're going to go ahead and connect that 1 inch up together like this. Like so. So we've just marked the center line, right? From that center right there, that 1 inch of a zipper, we're going to come in by 1/2 inch. Now, you go ahead now, connect this up like this. And also go ahead and connect it up like that. This way you'll be able to eliminate the zipper bush at the back. Can you see what I've just done there? Right? This part, when you sew it, is going to look good. Now let's come to the front. Like I said, the distance, our shoulder dart, the side dart is always, how long the back is and how long the front is. Okay, so now for the back is 16 inch. You know that the difference is 1 inch of our side dart. So what we're going to do is to come here like this. I will mark my 1 inch. You can do 1 inch, you can do 1.5 inch. It's up to you. All right, so I'm just going to mark my 1 inch. Now I'll connect that 1 inch up to meet up this point. So what I always like to do is you can just come here from the center line. You go in here by 1 inch, or you can even do 3/4 inch or even 1/2 inch. I'm just going to mark that point up right there. I will connect this up like this. Connect this up like this to this point. So automatically, if I fold this inside, you will see that this point and this point, this one and this one, they are going to mash up together. I hope that part is clear. So if I fold this, this is longer than this. But by the time I put this inside together, it's going to mash up with the side of the back. I hope that part is clear to you. Anita, I hope that part is clear to you. This is the front. So let's quickly go ahead and cut. And I believe from now, if you've watched to this point, you should be able to create your basic pattern. All right, I love it when I'm actually taking my time to do things like this. All right, so I'm going to cut this off. Remember, I've not added any sewing allowance, blah blah blah. So what we're going to do is to go ahead and just cut this up. When we get to this point, we need a little bit of space. This is what we're going to do, just to bring them up like this together. I would like to like this, okay? And it's going to give us that nice curve. Then we'll just kind of blend that up. So let me quickly go ahead and do this. I just say, let me quickly come here and show you something. You will learn something today. Alright, so let's put this one first. Put the front. Remember, you're always cutting 1/4 of your when you're drafting your pattern, you're always using 1/4 of it. So we have something like this. Now, this is what I'm going to do. All right, so look at what I'm going to do here. I'm going to just go ahead now and cut this up. Remember to always blend this part here, this curvy part, so you're going to have that nice curve. Can you see that? Oh my god, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Can you see this? By the time you fold this inside like this, you're going to see, look at the curve. Look at what you have right there. Look at what you get right there. Try this and thank me later. Try this and thank me later. But you're still going to have the same shoulder measurement. Eh? Don't make that mistake. Don't think that maybe you do so, you're not going to have the shape. I mean, the same. You're going to have the same shoulder measurement. 7 inch you're going to get. For example, your shoulder divided by that, whatever you get, you're still going to get that same measurement. Alright, so I have something like this. Now I'm going to have to just fold this up. What I always like to do, just to blend this up. Alright, so you can cut it, whatever, if you feel like you're cutting it. Cut it to avoid any type of. Where is that my hemming gun? It's not my hemming gun, my glue. So I'm just gonna go ahead. You have a perfect curve right there. You have a perfect curve right there. You have a perfect, if you have anything looking funny, you just quickly go ahead and blend that up, okay? Sorry about this. Now, this line for me is almost straight. If yours is not straight, you're just going to go ahead and connect that up. Alright? You have a tiny curve. When you cut your piece up like this, you should be able to get something like this. Look at it. Look at that curve that is giving us right there. Look at the curve that is giving. If you don't want to use the side back, it's okay by you. Right? So let's just cut the back. The back is quite very simple. Right? Alright, so the back is quite very simple. I actually bought a fabric. It's taking so long. Something that can be able, this normal cotton to practice. I've been waiting, it's taking like forever to get here. So they did ship it by month. So that's why it's taking like forever. So I'm waiting for it. I'm almost tired of it. Like that. Like so. So remember that half inch that you took in, you're not supposed to replace that back. You're not supposed to replace it back. Don't go and replace it back and then you start having funny look and coming and start blaming me that what you said was not working. You're not supposed to replace that. you're not supposed to replace it back, okay? So let me just quickly do this. Bring it up like that. Yeah. The area can be too. Let's try as much as possible. See, this is the back. The back is not supposed to have any curve or anything. This is just how the back is gonna be after we stitch. Remember, this thing is making like that because I've not opened up the shoulder. So the back is quite very simple. You see? The back is very, very simple. Right here, this is the front. Right? So I'm just gonna try to bring them up together. So this is just it. If you measure it, you realize that we still have whatever we have. All right. So we didn't have anything that looking funny. Right there, remember, it was 4, right? So we still have our 4-inch right there. Can you see that? Can you see? We still have our 4-inch. All right, so go ahead and always do this like this, and you are going to enjoy your any princess dart or any shoulder that you're working on. Believe me, this curve like this is going to come out just as beautiful as you wanted. You'll be surprised of yourself. So I hope you were able to learn something. I hope you're able to learn something today. I hope to see you guys some other time. We have learned, this is day 1. Don't worry, I didn't tell you guys that's day 1. So it was actually very, I don't know if you guys could understand it because we started from the basic all the way to this point. So if you're a beginner, you should be able to do this. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you guys some other time. Tomorrow, we're going to come live again and teach you on how to do another things. All right. See you guys. Good night to you all. Bye-bye. Thank you. You are welcome. You are welcome. Good night. Good night. Good night to you all.